Fans, we're always number one.
All right, Jimmy, thank you so much. And Brian, Rachel, Chris, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thank you. And there you see Barack Obama out at Andrews. Let's listen in.
So it behooves me to be very brief. Yes. You know, I said before, and I will say again, that when we started on this journey, we did so with an abiding faith in the American people and their ability, our ability, to join together and change the country in ways that would make life better for our kids and our grandkids. The change didn't happen from the top down, but it happened from the bottom up. It was met sometimes with skepticism and doubt. Some folks didn't think we could pull it off. There were those who felt that the institutions of power and privilege in this country were too deeply entrenched. And yet, all of you came together in small towns and big cities, a whole bunch of you really young, and you decided to believe. And you knocked on doors and you made phone calls and you talked to your parents who didn't know how to pronounce Barack Obama. And you got to know each other. And you went into communities that maybe you'd never even thought about visiting, and met people that on the surface seemed completely different than you, didn't look like you or talk like you or watch the same TV programs as you, and yet once you started talking to them, it turned out that they had something in common. And it grew and it built. And people took notice. And throughout it was infused with a sense of hope. And as I said in 2004, it wasn't blind optimism that drove you to do all this work. It wasn't naivete. It wasn't willful ignorance to all the challenges that America faces. It was hope in the face of difficulty. Hope in the face of uncertainty. You proved the power of hope. And throughout this process, Michelle and I, we've just been your front men and women. We have been the face, sometimes the voice, out front on the TV screen or in front of the microphone, but this has never been about us. It has always been about you. And all the amazing things that happened over these last 10 years are really just a testament to you. In the same way that when we talk about our amazing military and our men and women in uniform, the military is not a thing. It's a group of committed patriots willing to sacrifice everything on our behalf. It works only because of the people in it. As cool as the hardware is, and we got cool hardware, as cool as the machines and weapons and satellites are, ultimately it comes down to remarkable people. Some of them a lot closer to Malia's age than mine or Michelle's. Well, the same thing's true for our democracy. Our democracy is not the buildings. It's not the monuments. It's you being willing to work to make things better and being willing to listen to each other and argue with each other and come together and knock on doors and make phone calls.
Just to explain what we're seeing on the left-hand side of the screen during the former president's speech, President Obama is, and this is common, signing some initial documents, one declaring this a National Day of Patriotism. The next document was the waiver allowing General Mattis, who has not been out of the military as long as required, to serve in a civilian cabinet position running the Pentagon. The third is formal nominations of cabinet officials. It gives new presidents a chance to try all of this on for size, the formal documents, the pens, the signature, and grandkids are watching it.
Yeah, I think those are his grandkids there who are being adorable, which will now be their full-time job in the White House whenever they're there, and playing with the pens that he's using to sign these various orders. It's interesting that the new president had said that on day one he would enact a lot of his most controversial major policy actions. It appears, as far as we know, the day is young, but as far as we know, we think this is his full plan for day one. The waiver, so General Mattis can serve as Secretary of Defense, the formal nominations to the Senate, and as Brian said, the proclamation for a National Day of Patriotism.
I'm told
think that's it.
Yes, and I'm told this will happen a million times. I just already called him President Obama. President Trump, and we see the Speaker Ryan has been talking him through some of these procedures. When a president has a bill with 15, 30 pens next to him and everyone gets one, they learn this odd calligraphy of signing one fraction of their name at a time. The signatures end up looking very strange when they're displayed for the ages, but everyone gets a pen to keep from something like this. Kids just think it's just endless amounts of fun.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I think some of the pens may end up with the grandkids, whether or not they get used to sign anything, but who's going to complain at this point?
Looks like McCarthy has one.
Excellent job.
Depends on the very, very nice. Very nice. Ben Carson. What? Ben Carson. Ben Carson.
It's usually a very careful protocol about who gets a pen, signing and exactly who they are and in what order. We're not seeing that today.
As much as we came to know President Obama's signature, the greatest characteristic of which was that kind of bisected O. Donald Trump's signature, for those who haven't seen it, is much more like an electrocardiogram. It's very dramatically up and down.
Spiky.
Yeah.
Now there's negotiation about which pens.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi interrupting, giving back one pen, it being handed over to Mitch McConnell.
Put him back.
This is very well yesterday. Rick Perry. Yes, look, check this. Torrent.
It's better than Carson.
These are all the individual nominations for cabinet selections.
Who wants the Rick Perry pen?
That's
Kevin
that is
McCarthy
not
says, "I'll take it."
The Speaker still doesn't have one.
Betsy, education, right? Good job.
Not that one, no, thank you.
I half expect somebody's going to pop up and start auctioning them off.
It is. I'm happy to do.
Next, I think we're going to need some more pens, by the way. Labor. Buster.
No. Don't you? Where's Kelly?
Come on, Senator. I think the Senator likes them. He's going to do a good job.
Keeps suggesting each of his nominees. He's off camera, but I think he's sort of suggesting them to Chuck Schumer. Schumer said that Perry was preferable to Carson. He was not happy about Pezner. He said he'd rather hear about General Kelly.
This is the Veterans Administration.
Oh,
I think Chuck might like it. You want to try it out?
I'll let you make the trade.
Everyone's tough.
Schumer's giving one back.
I traded Carson. Look at the